Hey basketball coaches and players, today I am going to be breaking down some San Antonio basketball plays from way back, from a couple of years ago anyways, and these are still really good to use at the high school level. Let's get down and let's check out these basketball plays. Okay, so in this first play, we're going to have player 4 pop out from the elbow, and player 1 is going to be passing player 4 the ball. At this point in time, what we are going to have is player 5, he is going to set a screen for player 1, and player 1 is going to be using that screen. After using that screen, player 3 is going to be popping up to the free throw line extended, and then we're going to be having player 1 follow out towards that corner. Now, what we are going to have is player 4 pass over to player 5 after that screen, and now what we're going to see is player 4 setting a screen down for player 2. Player 2 is going to be using that screen and at the same time doing a dribble handoff with player 5, and now what we're going to have is player 4 going down towards this corner. We're going to have player 2 attack the free throw line and player 5 rolling towards the basket. Now, player 2 could take that shot and could also drive on that left side as well, but the main option, what we are looking for here, is for player 2 to pass into player 5 for that basket. But what could happen as well is help defenders coming down to stop that from happening, stopping the dunk or the layup from happening, and in which case player 5 needs to pass that ball out. Now, the number one side that he should be really looking at to pass it out at is the player 1. The reason for that is because when he passes it out to player 1, of course, he could take that shot, but at least there's a secondary player where if player 1 was to get covered, he could make the extra pass to player 3, and then player 3 could take that shot. Now, something that the play on the video doesn't show is after player 5 cuts, he's going to be going down to this low block. Something that they do a ton is now after this, player 2 is going to be setting that screen down for player 5, and player 5 is going to be cutting back up to the point where they're going to be looking to pass the ball to player 5, or I should also say player 4 is going to be moving up, player 2 is going to be moving out, and now we can now set up the 5-out offense once again. Now, I like to always try to finish off every single set play with a 5-out offense, and you can go check out my complete guide to the 5-out offense down in the description below. Now this is starting off as another Horns basketball play, and we're going to be having player 5 move up and set a screen for player 1. Player 1 is going to be using that screen, and at this point in time, we're going to have player 5 roll towards the basket. Now player 1 is going to be looking to get that ball into player 5, meanwhile player 4 is going to be moving out towards the 3-point line. And then player 5 could go in for that layup or the dunk. Player 1 could have also shot the ball as well, but if the help defender comes down, player 5 can now pass out to player 2 for the shot, or he can make the extra pass to player 4 for the shot. Now in this next play, it's a 5-out basketball play, and make sure if you're interested in the 5-out offense, go check out my book down in the description below. But we're going to be having player 5 start at the point, but player 1 having the ball out on that right wing. Now from there, we're going to have player 5 set that screen for player 1. And at this point in time, we're going to be having player 1 using that screen and having 3 different options. The first option is to pass to player 5, who is going to be rolling towards the rim. That is option number 1 for the basket. The next option is to pass to player 4, who can then get maybe a clearer pass to player 5, which is what we are going to see in the video following this breakdown. Or player 1 could have taken that shot. Now the main idea here is if player 5 gets that ball, the defense is going to collapse. Whether it be a pass from player 1 or a pass from player 4, the defense is going to be collapsing, especially if it's against a zone defense. Notoriously, zone defenses do not like to get the ball in the middle and they start collapsing on it, in which case player 5 is going to make a pass out to player 3 or maybe player 2 for the 3-point shot. Now in this final play, the great thing here is you could use it as a box offense, which is hilarious because of course a box offense is generally used with younger players. So you could actually use this play with elementary school players, but with the San Antonio Spurs, they do run it as a 3-out, 2-in, but again, you could use it as a box offense as well. And what we're going to be looking at doing here is have player 5 set that screen up for player 3, and player 4 is going to be on this side looking to set up a screen as well. Now what's going to happen is we're going to have player 3 cut through, and he's going to be then popping out towards this corner, and we're going to be having player 2 cutting down towards that block and then out towards the 3-point line. He's getting set up for a further part of this, or something that's going to happen later on in this play. Now, player 1's first option here, when player 2 is cutting through, and at the same time we're having that double screen here for player 3, player 1 could have passed to player 3 for that 3-point shot. That is an option, but we're going to be having player 5. He's going to be popping up towards the elbow, and player 1 can also pass to player 5. Now, of course, if player 3 gets that ball, it has to be for a 3-point shot, so you have to really make sure that if you're passing to player 3 in this play, he's going to be open for that shot. Otherwise, player 5 is going to be the next option. Now, what we're going to be having here is going to be, after that pass, player 1 is going to cut down the middle of the key, and of course, if he's open, hit him up with that pass for the layup, but if not, he's going to be clearing out. And now, what we're going to be having is player 3 popping up to the free throw line extended. Player 4 is going to be popping out towards the 3-point line. We're going to have player 5 pass to player 3 when player 3 is cutting up towards the top. And now what we're going to have is player 5 set that screen for player 3. This could also be a dribble handoff as well. And then we're going to be finishing with a similar play as what we just seen earlier, with player 5 rolling towards the basket, getting that ball into the paint. Again, you always want to try and get that ball into the paint, whether you're going against a man-to-man or a zone, but it's more deadly against a zone. And player 5 is going to be then going in for the basket. Of course, if the defense collapses, he's going to kick it out for a 3-point shot. I hope that these videos and plays help you and your basketball team. If they do, hit that like button and subscribe. Make sure to go check out my complete breakdown of the 5-out offense down in the description below.